Well folks, here we are back with some exclusive content. I thought I'd do a 2024 Polytunnel update. It's been a while since I've done any videos, so I just thought I'd show you what's going on. And we're looking at my grapevine here. I can't actually remember the name of it. It's they're green grapes anyway. They produce a lot, but the grapes tend to be on the small side, so I don't know whether I should thin them or not, but we'll have to wait and see. And it's done pretty well. It got through the springtime without any late frost damage because we didn't really have any late frost. There's a few cool nights at the towards the end of April, and some of the plants at the roof of the polytunnel got a bit toasted, but that was it. Nothing else. We're quite lucky, and then we had a really warm spell in the last couple of weeks. So looking fantastic. And a nice surprise this year is my pineapple quava. We've got some flowers on there. We've actually got quite a few flowers on there, whereas the other ones, there's some more there, there's some more there, there's some more there. This is an unnamed variety, so I don't know which type it is. I have a friend who's growing about 4 or 5 different varieties, so I'll have to rob some or borrow some pollen off him just to cross-pollinate these. But looking good. It's a bit in a shady spot, so I might have to pull or prune this grapevine back a bit. Maybe let this grow up here and give this a bit more light here. Another nice surprise is, and it's probably hard to see in the corner there, see those holes plugged up in the door of the polytunnel? We have a colony of mason bees, which is amazing. Apparently mason bees are some of the best pollinators out there, better than most of the other bee types, bumblebees and honeybees. So with regard to what I've done with the rest of the polytunnel, it's actually a jungle at the moment, and I'll get to that. But these middle aisle, I've gotten rid of all of the fig trees with the exception of this bad boy here. It's an LSU champagne. I'm going to give it another year in the ground and see what it's like. It's getting quite big. We've got a reasonable crop of brabas off that. I did a video on it recently, and a lot of those brabas have dropped, but some of them still remain. Actually quite a few still remain, so going to be a reasonable harvest. But yeah, so I had potted fig trees in here last year. They're all out. They're still in the pot. Some of them I got rid of. I just didn't want them. All of the ones that were in here, I'm not going to go through them, and then the ones behind the Pakistani are all gone. Some of them are still in pots. I'm still hanging on to them, and I'm going to replace those figs with veg, with tomatoes, sweet potato. I'll be growing corn or whatever else, even though I said I wasn't going to grow corn anymore. With regard to all of these flowers, I've just let a lot of stuff go to seed because we have colonies of insects and bumblebees in here, which I really like. So I'm just going to let them feast on all of this nectar here, and then before any of these go to seed, I'll pull them up. Sage here I planted last year, first time I've ever grown sage. I didn't think it would get this big, but it has. So once these are all done flowering, I'll cut this back. A lot of parsley that's gone to seed. I'll probably collect some of the seed and cut them back. It's almost like a chop and drop type plant. My Ronde Bordeaux still there, Desert King still there, loaded with figs. You can see them there. This over here is Facilia, which is a green manure cell seed from a few years ago. I did not plant this. It's absolutely rampant in here, but again, some nice food for the bees in here, and there's quite a lot of them here. So before that goes to seed, I'll pull it out. Turkish Rocket. This was a volunteer plant, and I can't get rid of it because it's like comfy. It has really deep tap roots, and if I chop this back, it'll just keep coming back, so I'll just leave it there. I can't eat it. It's actually not the worst, but I use it or treat it as a chop and drop. My king white mulberries in the back there, it's still in pots, doing pretty well. This one didn't do too well here, you can't see it. I might come back to that in a different video. I'm going to give Improve Celeste one more year. I just didn't have the heart to cut it down, so if it doesn't do well this year, it's gone. Smith is still there. This is interesting. So this is my Pakistani mulberry, which I've done plenty of videos on, and I might do a separate video on this. We have a guild in here of lovage, catmint, which is a volunteer plant, and some comfrey and yarrow at the side there. These will be all chopped back soon enough. So I was going to, or last year I did a video when, and I talked about how I'm going to cut this back and graft some more productive varieties onto it, because every year for the last 2 or 3 years it's dropped pretty much all of its fruit, and which is really disappointing. And I wasn't particularly vigorous up until now, that is, because it seems to be hanging onto all of its fruit this year for whatever reason. Maybe that's to do with the warm spring that we've had, certainly the warm last 2 or 3 weeks. And yeah, you can see some of these berries are hanging on. They don't look look like they're dropping, which is amazing. And there's so much fruit on them that the branches are becoming heavy with them, so they're falling down. They're laden with this fruit. And in fact, I think some of the berries are, and here's one here, look, these are starting to ripen up already, which is just unbelievable. So yeah, amazing to see. And I'm almost giving up hope. And the only reason I didn't cut this back, just that I've had a very, very busy winter and I haven't really been up here that much, so it's just one of those jobs that never got done. But however, there you go. There's also plenty of barrage around. This is self-seeded as well, and we can see seeds in here. I'll have to cut this back. I've let this go or grow for now because the bees absolutely love barrage. And yeah, so it's time to cut this back. It's a lovely plant as well. What I really like is the flowers, which are edible. Actually, the entirety of the plant is edible, although the leaves tend to be a bit spiky. But the flowers on them are actually very, very sweet. I can understand why the bees like them. Here's another little herbaceous border that I did. I did have a fig tree in here, it's gone now, so the herbs have taken over. Sage, obviously, lemon thyme, which is actually quite nice. And this bad boy over here, which is an oregano variety called Hot and Spicy, or otherwise known as oregano, as the Yanks call it. And this is actually really spicy. Like a really strong oregano. It's almost like eating a hot pepper. Very nice. My dad used to buy oil of oregano years ago, and he used to use it to treat any coughs or flus or anything like that, and it actually tastes exactly like that. It's like really strong. My Smith is still here. I had to lop off a few branches that were getting diseased, but anyway, it's looking good. Got another bed of corn. I know I said I wouldn't grow corn again, but I love corn so much. These are all dwarf varieties. I have some cucamelons in there as well. Desert King still doing its thing. This here, I planted this a few years ago thinking it was something else, but it comes back every year. I've chopped it back a few times and it's very vigorous. It's actually Russian tarragon. You know, I have French tarragon at home and it's really nice. It's a nice aniseed flavour. This doesn't taste of that at all. It's actually pretty bland tasting. I don't like it at all. I don't know why anyone would grow it. So because it keeps coming back and just kind of chop and drop, you know, all the other plants in this little border or bed don't seem to mind it, so they seem happy in there, so it doesn't seem to be causing any problems. There's some of my pomegranate varieties that I kind of have forgotten about. They're actually doing pretty well. I can't remember the names of the varieties, but I'll probably come back to that later on. I should really plant them in the ground. Pomegranates just do not do well in pots. Some more potted mulberries that all seem to be hanging on to their fruit, which is fantastic. This is a Pakistani variety that I grafted. I actually can't remember which one this one is, but the berries seem to be much longer than the Pakistani I have in the ground. So I don't know. Have to wait and see. This dropped all its berries last year, but it's looking good this year. Choed dwarf doing this thing again, absolutely rammed with berries. This is probably the most reliable mulberry I have. Every year it's just spectacularly loaded. And now this is grown inside the polytunnel, but I have one outside in the ground, which is only waking up now, so it wakes up much later than most other mulberries, which is perfect for our environment because it just dodges the late frosts. Next down, my Cairns Red Kiwi, looking stellar this year, and absolutely round with flowers, which is great. However, anybody who knows kiwi berries knows that we have male and female types. I do have a male and it's outside. It's only starting to put out flowers at the moment and they look more like that there, so I'm hoping that there will be some overlap of flowering exchange. We have some more mason bees up in this corner here. Hopefully they will be able to pollinate them. I will get the paintbrush out to try and cross pollinate them myself. Here's another variety that I haven't done any videos on. I think it's called Ozark or something like that. It's a Turkish variety got off Vinny, so hopefully that'll do well this year. I think that's it for now. Yeah, it's still a bit of a mess. I have to clean up all of this or clean up all of these small plants, ground cover plants, the self-seeded or self-sown flowering plants here. Have some ground cover clover. I'll pull all of this out. I'll probably plant some stuff in here, but that's how she's looking at the moment. Looking good. I'm really happy about this mulberry. I'm delighted with the kiwi berries and also the pineapple guavas. And yeah, I'll probably do a separate update on the plants outside. It's an absolute jungle. The weeds have got on top of me this year, so I have to do a lot of back-breaking work and pull them all up. I will probably get a some weed fabric, which I'm not too keen on using, but I don't really have any choice. I'll just finish off with this. This is my Comaquat, which I've had for a good few years now, and we got some nice new growth in that. I think I might need to feed it. It's looking a bit yellow. For years I've had it in this pot, and for years ants have been in this pot or any other pot that I've had it in, and you can see the trail of soil that they're bringing out from the pot. I don't know how to treat this without using chemicals. I know they don't like having wet feet or getting soaked, so I don't know what to do. If anybody has any suggestions on how to get rid of ants and pots, that'd be great. But that's how she's looking. I'll probably do some more videos and updates on what's going on, so take it easy, folks.